there's been a vote in Parliament about the Lisbon Treaty. What happened? There was a unanimous yes vote without debate. Without debate. I mean, this is more important than the Hungarian constitution. It has more influence on actual legislation than the constitution does. And the whole vote took 7 minutes. It was not mentioned in the press the next day. So most people in Hungary have not heard of the Lisbon Treaty. Most citizens don't know. And for example, the voters of the right suppose that their party, their favorite party, is slightly anti-European, anti-EU. They don't know. They have voted unanimously in favor of the Lisbon Treaty, giving up Hungarian sovereignty completely. Yeah. And nobody gives a toss about it. You know, it's really, so that's very characteristic of European affairs. Why debate it when you don't have a voice in it anyway? You can't change it anyway. So that leads to apoliticism, to depoliticization of the masses, which is very bad indeed. So when people feel that they have no say in public affairs, that can result in their indifference towards anti-democratic developments. So that's a great risk in the European Union, even if we judge things from the very traditional point of view of bourgeois democracy and bourgeois liberalism. Even from that point of view, which is not mine, it's a dangerous thing.
How do you comment on the major changes, both economically and politically? You said a little bit about this already in Hungary since the entrance to the European Union.
Good God, I don't think I can answer this. Nothing much has changed. A bit of how you can apply for EU monies, and some of the local councils have, you know, built the odd, you know, bath or school or whatever from EU money. That's useful. But apart from small-scale help and some controls in some areas, it's what is felt really is an increased bureaucratism and not much else. And it's not something that people are talking about. It's not influencing people's everyday lives. So it's not a topic, even, you know, the only country in which the popular press is writing about the EU is England, of course, where they don't participate in most actions because it's, you know, it's a nationalistic press that, of course, wants to smash the French and the Germans and, you know, frogs and the crowds. This kind of tabloid press. But in Hungary, where there's no such resentment against Western Europe, really there's mostly indifference. And it's well deserved. It's well deserved. So the European Union works as a brake, slows everything down, most terribly. And sometimes that can be useful, sometimes not. Sometimes you can, you know, sometimes the European courts are used for human rights cases, but these are small-scale advantages, and the disadvantages that are implicit in totally foolish economic policies, such as the Maastricht criteria and so on and so forth, which is totally mad, you know, totally unnecessarily, you know, hampering European economies. You can't stop that. There's no way. And so, in a way, yes, there's an influence of it on our lives, but unperceived, indirect, mediated, and on the whole, I don't think that is such a great thing. And it may be more important than people perceive, but absolutely, I can't think of one single democratic way in which to change the European Union as it is. You know, by the vote, you can't change anything. So not even as much as you can in a national parliament, which is not much anyway. So, so in that respect, the illusions about the European Union should be toned down, because all that, you know, I know that verbiage about Europe, okay, European values are so civilized that, you know, that our ears are becoming green with the effort, but this is not what it is, and people should look reality in the face, which is Europe is a very tough, merciless and cruel capitalist institution.
You already mentioned this before, but what do you think? Should Croatian people fight against entrance in the European Union?
Well, you know, I would need to know a little bit more about Croatia, because you might have some disadvantages that may be lost by joining. Although I don't think so, but you know, let's be generous and suppose that there are such things. But it seems that the majority wants that very much. So I don't think that the good tactics would be to actually agitate against entry, against joining, but speaking clearly about the problems that will be
actually
created.
Almost 40% of the population is against the European Union.
Oh, that's quite high. I didn't know.
But
yes.
we have no party in the parliament is against
Yes.
the EU.
Yes. Okay, I see. Right. So the elites are for, and the rest less.
Actually,
Yes.
in one
Poll.
poll from the Eurobarometer, it was just 29% of people who are for entering the European Union. So
Oh, yes, but one always hears that the Croats want. Well, that means, of course, the press and the political class, of course. Yeah, so I see. I didn't know these figures. I must confess, I didn't know these figures. Well, that changes things. Then perhaps there should be, for the first time, a Eurosceptical movement that is not rightist and not nationalist. That would be interesting. That would be interesting, and that could concentrate some energies if it doesn't get derailed in some stupid nationalist direction, which can always happen because it's a complex thing. But fighting for democratic accountability and fighting for, you know, the constitutionality and the exclusive constitutionality of capitalist competition, that could be a worthy aim. And if, you know, people can be found to do that, even if, you know, in a witty, small way, because I know that the forces of the left are not huge, that may be worth doing, and especially, you know, showing the disadvantages of the euro, which is, of course, the crown of the European Union. And in that case, if it does not really very, very heavily hurting people's national sensibilities, because that would be senseless, then, of course, why not? It should be done then.
Professor Tamás, thank you very much.
Thank you too.